Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, now how on a day, my people. I say now how on a day today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. My people, what's going on? I say what's going on, my people. Today, I will have to re-echo the words of our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, a woman I love so much, a woman I respect. The Iron Lady of Biafra, the Margaret Thatcher of Biafra. I love her courage. I love her confidence. I love her charisma. People like this, that then go make una act and do things. Today, I wish to re-echo her words. I wish to appreciate her for speaking on this very, very vital topic. This point about the wives of our leaders. This one, I will say I gave it to QTV, our brother QTV. He gave me this assignment. QTV, you have given me this assignment because when I saw this on your Twitter page, I knew I had to go deeper on this point raised by our Deputy Prime Minister, Her Excellency, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, about the wives of our leaders. And after this video, I hope all the Biafran men, next time we are getting married, make sure the woman shares your vision, shares your goals, shares your ideology, shares your belief system, and believes in you. Don't just marry a woman for the beauty of that woman. Because it is sad that the men we love so much, the men that we can call gods on earth, demigods, smaller gods on earth, their women or the wives or the women in their life, to an extent, I'll be respectful, but they've been a disappointment. I'll be respectful, but they've been a disappointment. At this point, I want to also hear what our Deputy Prime Minister said, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. After this video, watch out for a video where I will also speak to the man they call the legal team or the lawyer of Mazi Ekpa Simon and Ojukwu, our Prime Minister. The one they call Dabiri. Watch out for the next video. I will give that guy serious warning. What that if he tries that nonsense again that he did, then he will hear from the Biafran people. For him to write a letter instructing our Prime Minister or our Deputy Prime Minister. That's a slap on the face of the 80 million Biafrans, because we are the ones paying you. Your legal fees was paid from the funds raised by the Biafran people. Be careful. I'll go hard on him after this video. I will go very, very hard and warn him. That nonsense in his life, he should never try it again. We pay his bills. We tell him when to jump, when to run, and all that, and when to speak. And we also tell him when to sit down and shut up. We pay him. He that pays the piper, they takes the tune. But that's for a different video. You see me, I don't begin vex because I don't like these games that these guys they are playing. I don't like the game. It's a bit strange that a so-called legal team were looking for this guy's picture. We couldn't find it for a long time. A man who was referred by who? Elias Garasolis. Can you now see the link? But that's for another day. Let me deal with this video here. Respect to our brother QTV for putting this one out. I will go straight to it. Listen to what our Deputy Prime Minister said about the wives of our leaders. Listen, and I'll come back. Listen.
Again, dear friends, I thank you all today. We come here today to do what we know best to do, which is to raise funds to stop the killing of innocent Biafrans by reintegrated terrorists hired by President Tinubu supported by some of his ministers like Bianca, Ojukwu. Oh no, people say, stop saying, Ojukwu can never support what this criminal woman is doing.
Yes.
We know that. Just like the one that says she representing Nnamdi Kanu and come up for us, the pseudo whatever, whatever. Our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never support what that idiot does.
Yes.
Same way, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa can never support what that foolish idiot they call the ex-wife come on Twitter to do. There is a pattern, and Biafrans, you need to know this pattern. I believe the true Biafrans have seen the pattern where when our leaders are being subjugated by the Nigerian state, their so-called wives or ex-wives come out to say stupid shit on the social media. This is a pattern.
Yes.
But now that pattern has been exposed. Biafrans now know this pattern. And Biafrans have resisted that pattern by the declaration of the United States of Biafra on the 29th of November 2024. So we thank all Biafrans.
Hold it there, my people. We have to take it back and break it down. We need to break this one down. That's my job here, to go deeper, to go in depth. Take a nose deep or a nose dive to see what is happening. Because this point, some of you heard it from your left ear and it went out from your right ear. That's the problem I have with you guys. I don't have any problem with those who didn't go to school. But there's something called critical reasoning. If you don't learn the pattern, it will repeat itself over and over and over and over and over again. The pattern, you must learn pattern and try to change it. If you can now understand what is happening, if you change it, it will not repeat itself again. That's how this thing works. The moment you can change the pattern, understand where it's coming from, then you will now be able to understand the reason behind why it's happening. Then once you understand the reason, those behind it, it will not repeat itself again. And we thank God that our Deputy President said, since the 29th of November, that pattern has ceased to exist. Now listen again to the great words of our Deputy Prime Minister and watch me break it down meticulously. Listen.
Again, dear friends, I thank you all today. We come here today to do what we know best to do, which is to raise funds to stop the killing of innocent Biafrans by reintegrated terrorists hired by President Tinubu, supported by some of his ministers like Bianca, Ojukwu.
Okay.
Oh no, people say, stop saying, Ojukwu can never support what this criminal woman is doing.
Hold it there. Now, this was yesterday during the fundraising, and she said, we have come to raise funds, raise money to protect and defend ourselves from the encroaching Islamic jihadist military coming from that zoo called Nigeria. And somehow they are being supported, they are being backed by the so-called ministers from the southeast, the one they call the State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ono. You see, yesterday I made a video to her. I gave her the utmost respect because I was feeling my people might not be, privy enough to understand what she's doing behind the scene. You guys may not understand. That was why I was careful in my approach yesterday. But today that our Deputy Prime Minister has called her for who she is, today we have taken away the Ojukwu in her name. And she's been referred back to the name of her father, Ono. A man who somehow was kind of not happy about the marriage. But somehow that man was also a politician and he was trying to become a friend to Ojukwu. So perhaps you never can tell if he was the one that even planted his daughter at the presence of Ojukwu, because it makes no sense. She was so young during that time. So how come Ojukwu was able to have access to Bianca at that young age? Then she was in university And the next thing she did the most, the pageant stuff. She was always looking for glamour, to be a celebrity. And she can go the extra mile to get whatever she wanted. Power. And today of all days, at a time when Biafra has one leg in liberation and one leg being lifted out of Nigeria, this same woman is the one that allowed herself to be used by a drug dealer, a baron, a drug man, an old, dirty, stinking criminal, a man with a fake name, a man with a fake age. She allowed Tinubu to use her to destroy the movement of Biafra. She allowed Tinubu to use her to blackmail Simon Ekpa at a time when the freedom was almost at hand. So please, I re-echo the words of our Deputy Prime Minister. We have snatched the glory of calling her Ojukwu. Going forward, I'll be referring to her as Bianca Ono, because what she did was very, very wrong. Alo, a sacrilege, abomination, that you betrayed your nation for the caliphate. You see, these people that look this way, some of these light-skinned people, they have the blood of the caliphate, the Fulani, Janjaweed. Because when Usman Danfodio came all the way from the Arabia into Africa, he came with his concubines, and they were all light-skinned, pale-skinned. They were light-skinned Arabs. So these people that you are seeing with this light skin, to an extent, when you go deeper, their blood has been tainted by that of the caliphate. So at this point, yes, I agree. Never again should we allow this nonsense that the wife of a man we love so much, it came by Newi, a man that we're ready to live and die for. A man that declared Biafra because he saw the suffering of his people, the pillage, the pogrom happening all the way from the north. A man that gave Nigeria the second chance. They went to Aburi in Ghana to discuss himself and the idiots they call Jack. Lord have mercy. That bloodthirsty or thirsty idiot, that monster they call Jack, Yakubu Gowon, that was dating a Biafran girl, Edith. She was pregnant for Yakubu Gowon. They called him Jack. Ojukwu called him Jack. Agui Ironsi called him Jack. He was a friend to Ojukwu, Agui Ironsi, and the rest of them. They were best of friends. He came to marry, or he was dating a Biafran girl called Edith. She was pregnant for that bastard. Edith was pregnant for Gogowon, that murderer, that monster. But suddenly, when the caliphate now tempted him to stop his so-called best friend, he came, and the first thing he did was to break up with his fiancée that was heavily pregnant. Edith, the Biafran woman, the first wife. When you go to history, they said they were married. The first wife of Yakubu Gowon, the first thing he did was to break up with her. She was heavily pregnant. Think about that. That's how these animals, they hate us. And suddenly, Bianca is going to partner with the caliphate. Edith was heavily pregnant. That bastard, that murderer, broke up with her. Then before he came to strike, to show you how greedy he was, how selfish, how self-centered he was, he made sure that Edith was taken away from Delta State, the area called the Delta. When he saw that Edith's life has been secured because he had the seed of Gowon, That was when the war was officially declared to come and kill the people of Biafra. You guys must know your history. You see me, I don't study everything that happened up to the details. Day by day account of what happened. And guess what? The son Edith gave birth to, Gogo One neglected that boy, avoided the boy. The boy now went to America, became a destitute. He went into crime. He was locked up in America. He was in jail. He was facing decades in jail in America. He was only released about 6-7 years ago. Edith is already dead. The son is freed. And now at old age, Yakubu Gowon now went back to make peace with that boy. A man who is in his 50s. A man who spent more than 25 years in jail in America. He came back. Yakubu Gowon in his old age now went to make peace with him. You see, this man was crafty. So for the fact that Ojukwu fought a war to preserve the lives of the Biafrans, how come the wife of Ojukwu that married Ojukwu before or after the war, she was a young girl, probably she wasn't even born during the war. She married Ojukwu after the war when he returned to that zoo called Nigeria. And yet, she didn't take her time to understand the history of what her husband was fighting for. She didn't take her time to read the declaration, the statement made by Philip Ifyong when he warned Nigeria to be kind to the children of Biafra. Be kind. We have come to lay down our arms. You said no victor, no vanquish. Fine. But please be kind to the children. Live to your words. You came with the 3R, reconstruction, rehabilitation, all these things. You came with the 3R. Be kind, be sure you are doing it. Reconstruction, you didn't do it, but today America is discussing to reconstruct Gaza, and some idiots in that zoo, they are angry with who? America. Something Nigeria they refuse to do in the land of Biafra. No reconciliation till this day. They hate us. The Igbo must go. Omo Igbo. Yashuku did not come out. Yamari. Look at what they call us everywhere you go in that zoo called Nigeria. They hate us with a passion. They love to hate us. They love to see us die in that zoo called Nigeria. Yet somebody like Bianca Ono went to sell herself. What does she need? She's already rich. If it's money, we the Biafrans, we get money. We will give you money until you can eat and spend no more. That's how we used to love you. But you have sold your dignity by going to work for the caliphate. Those who they are trying to stop Biafra, you know deep inside what they want to do against the people of Biafra. Yet you allowed Tinubu, a criminal, a drug man, a baron, you allowed him to use you, to place you in a tactical position where you don't have your say. You are working under somebody. For the fact you are the state for foreign minister or for whatever they call it, the state minister for foreign affairs, for the fact you are in that role, it means your boss is the full animal they call Yusuf Tutuga. That idiot, that gay fool, that spray his baby, with a silver spray. For the fact you are the state foreign affairs minister, it means you are working under the foreign affairs minister. So whatever your boss tells you, the head, whatever task he gives you, you must do it. And they sent you to go to Finland to blackmail Simon Ekpa. And you went there and you declare that your husband who fought for Biafra does not believe in that nonsense that PM Simon Ekpa was doing. Very, very sad. I have to go deeper on this one because sometimes when we make a statement, we expect the Biafrans to understand, but some of you don't get it. That's why my own role is to go deeper, go in depth and break it down for the deaf, dumb, and blind to understand. Very, very sad. It's very, very sad, man. So I'm saying going forward, I re-echo the words of our Deputy Prime Minister. Her name going forward is Bianca Ono. She does not earn or deserve to be called Ojukwu anymore. Because what she did, even her husband will not do it. Let's continue.
We know that. Just like the one that says she representing Nnamdi Kanu and come and call us, the pseudo whatever. On our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never support what that idiot does. The same way.
Hold it there. The one they call Uchechi Kanu. Uchechi. I tried my best to avoid your topic because I love Oyendu so much with all my life. I tried my best to stay away from your topic. Even when they were calling you Chinchi, even when our Prime Minister was calling you Chinchi, deep inside I said, my God, I stayed away. They called it the bed bug. I stayed away. But it was when I saw what you did against Simon Ekpa, and I understood why Simon Ekpa was saying what he was saying. Because you of all people, you should know better. You were there. You gave a testimony. How every morning when you wake up, you look at the window, there is MI5, an unmarked car outside your house watching. Every day, an unmarked car in Britain. What they did in Finland, Britain was scared to do it. That was their intention against Nnamdi Kanu. Every day you said when you look outside, there's an unmarked car. But during that time, Britain, they were thinking Nnamdi Kanu was still in your house. So they were monitoring him, his activities, his day-to-day activities. I know how they roll in Britain when it comes to the MI5. They are very thorough. You were going through that nonsense. You saw how they treated you and your husband. And because of that, your husband found his way. He left town. He went to Kenya. He left town. He left Britain. I know we say he went on holiday, but he was there for more than 6 months, to call a spade a spade. There are things that I know I don't want to speak yet on. Yes, we said he went on holiday, but to call a spade, your husband left you over 6 months. He was in Kenya. And somehow, you saw what he went through. You saw how suddenly we all woke up and see him. We saw him in Nigeria. We saw pictures of a man, our leader, looking drugged out, looking dazed, looking dazzled. With some military men holding him. They were wearing gloves. We could only see their hands holding him to stand still. That tells me that he was drugged out. And to take the picture, they had to hold him somehow for his body to stand still. But if you look at his face, it looked like a man who was sleeping or sleepwalking. I was in tears when I saw that picture because I know when things like that are done. In most cases in America, when their military men goes out, the SEAL, when they go out and get a job done, they take pictures like that, mugshots, to show the president, say, hey, we have this man now. They will grab the person, he'll be drugged out. They'll position him to look, straight at the camera, but he's sleeping or whatever, he's drugged out. You will only see the hands holding him, the hands of the military men holding that person. So when I saw what they did to Nnamdi Kanu, the pictures that came out, I was in tears. For 3 weeks, I couldn't concentrate in my work. I had to call in sick for 3 weeks. Because the job I do is very, very technical. It's all mental from the mind. So for you to be the one to now go against the most beloved disciple of Nnamdi Kanu, it beats my imagination. I've lost all respect for you. And I'm so glad our deputy PM came out and spoke and called you for who you are. Because what you did was sacrilegious. Your husband, Nnamdi Kanu, told us to listen to Simon Ekpa, share his videos, because Simon is coming with a new dimension. It came from the mouth of Nnamdi Kanu. So if you are angry with Simon Ekpa, then be angry with your husband because he was the one that told us. He referred us to Simon Ekpa. And as good followers, we listened to the gospel of Nnamdi Kanu when he told us to follow his most beloved disciple. We had to abide. And the spirit of Biafra, when your husband was kidnapped, the spirit went from Nnamdi Kanu to Simon Ekpa. We saw it happen. But you are the one here calling Simon Ekpa Obele midget in Finland. You were insulting him for no reason. You went against Simon Ekpa. And look at you. Look, you were looking for just 10,000 signatures. It took you 4 or 5 months to raise just 10,000 signatures. When you know that if you have come to the government of Simon Ekpa, definitely within a day you will raise at least 100,000 signatures. But no, you went with the DOS. Those that announced all the names of the ESN commanders, and within 48 hours, they were all killed and dragged around the whole road in Biafra land. Uchechi, you disgust me. For the very first time I'm coming out, I'm speaking this way to you. You disgust me. You went against the one that your husband asked us to follow. Simon Ekpa was there from the beginning. When we're doing some programs, your husband will call Simon Ekpa to come out and anchor those programs. The alliance with Ambazonia and Biafra. Your husband, Nnamdi Kanu, deliberately told Simon Ekpa to come out and be the one to handle that program. And he did a very good job. Even when your husband was kidnapped in Nigeria, the first assignment the first command he gave was for Simon Ekpa to be given a radio slot on Radio Biafra. But you have gone against your husband. Just did the same thing. You allowed Nigeria to entice you. You were hanging with the politicians. You felt good. They booked you to fly to Nigeria, and you felt good. You betrayed the movement because deep inside, you never believed in the movement. You never believed in the movement. Because why will you go against the one, the most beloved disciple of your husband? Why will you go against the one most loved by your husband? Why? Uchechi, you disgust me. I bet let's continue.
Our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa can never support what that foolish idiot they call the ex-wife come on Twitter to do. There is a pattern, and Biafrans, you need to know this pattern. I believe the true Biafrans have seen the pattern.
The pattern is there. The pattern is there for the whole world to see. The pattern is there for us to see. Hence, I will call on Mariam to please don't make the mistake you made again. The mistake you made to allow those miscreants to cajole you to come out and speak. Don't do it. Don't ever try that mistake again. Maintain your lane. Stay calm. And maintain who you are. You are the ex-wife of our leader, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Don't get involved. Don't feel you now have the authority to speak for the Biafrans and for us to listen to you. We are not obliged to listen to you. If any message is coming from Simon Ekpa, it will not come through you. You are not the one to speak to the Biafran people. Things has to be done in a professional way, with all due respect. The legal team of Simon Ekpa will be the one to address us. I don't want to hear from the wife. Yes, you are into civil court or whatever, or you are a civil, fine. But don't come and pretend that you are the one dealing with the case of Simon Ekpa. Please. That'll be a slap on our face, because that's what they are trying to paint you to be the one dealing with the case. You know the case of Simon Ekpa is bigger than you. You are a civil lawyer. Don't pretend. The case of Simon Ekpa is not a civil case, with all due respect. If it's a civil case, then he would have had his bail, he'll be at home, and he's waiting for the next court date. Don't come here and say you are the one representing him. Come out and expose those who lie that you are the one representing Simon Ekpa in this case. No. You were working partners before. You were working partners with Simon Ekpa. Don't come and say you are the one handling the case of Simon Ekpa, because you are a civil lawyer, but Simon Ekpa's case is not a civil case. So because of that, I'll tell you to please next time be extra careful. Don't come out and in fact, you have no dog in this fight. Don't get involved next time. This is going to Marian. Do not get involved next time, please. In the affairs of the Biafran, you have no dog in that fight. It's shocking. Because you came and said, oh, Simon Ekpa said fall back. He told us he said this to fall back. Fall back to where? That's shocking. That's your statement. You have to be careful next time. That shouldn't come from you, with all due respect. Asking us to fall back. That's shocking, with all due respect. With all due respect. Because there was something Simon Ekpa told you that I decoded, a coded message that he said only Dr. Ngozi Orabueze will understand. When he said, tell her to secure the mandate. When he made that statement, I understood what he meant. Because I am Simon Ekpa and Simon Ekpa is me. I've been saying that from day one. I am Simon Ekpa and Simon Ekpa is me. When I heard him tell you to tell Dr. Ngozi Orabueze to secure the mandate, I understood what he meant. I won't break it down here. So far, what Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing is the best thing. Biafrans, I beg, make una follow who no road. I will not decode that when he said to secure the mandate. When person say, guy, you secure that thing, I understand what it means. Enough said. No more talk. When they say secure that mandate thing, she now asks you which one. He now said, oh, he said, once I say secure the mandate, you will understand what he means. I understand that thing. She needs to secure it because when PM comes out, he must continue from somewhere. Biafrans, make una follow who no road. Forget anything that anybody is doing. The legal team, Dabri, came from who now? He was recommended by that, Elias, aka Elizabeth. Dabri, that will be the next video. I saw the letter and I will address it next. I will take my time, my people. I will take my time. When PM said, secure the mandate, I understand. I understood the assignment. I understood what he meant. So please, those when they attack Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, make una be careful. People like Vam, this guy, you see me, I've tried, because deep inside, people like Vam, I have no problem with them deep inside. Because I know they are smaller fish to fry. But unfortunately, the Biafrans, they are falling for the gimmicks. That's the problem. You guys, you are falling for the same mistake. All we are saying is, let them do what they are doing. Just like in the case of King Solomon. When the two women came, say, this Pequeno, one died, one is alive. The one alive is mine. They were both claiming. He said, okay, I shall split it into two. One said, no, don't split it into two. give it to that other woman. Then when the pikin grow up, the pikin can now choose the real mom. Because during those days, you will now see the features. Their gene was very strong during those days. The same thing I'm saying. Those who are with Ogenkere, Akbarawa, all those people, allow them to be. Let them raise their money and do the job. But if you notice, they are coming to blame us. Which is kind of strange. Do what you want to do. Nobody is stopping you. Do you. But at the end, we shall know who is who. Agba just saw Agomile. When PM is out, I'm thanking God that Simon Ekpa is not in the zoo. I thank God. Because if Simon Ekpa was found in the zoo, I'm sorry. Nigeria is bad. That would be a big problem. But for the fact he's in Finland, I thank God. That's our only saving grace. That he is in Finland. If Simon Ekpa was in Nigeria, then it's a big problem. You feel me? It will be a big problem. But we thank God he's in Finland. So let them do what they are doing. Allow us to be. Do you allow us to be? Then at the end, when Simon Ekpa come now, we shall give account. The Obatobe I know. He will take his time to go through everything and see who is right and who is wrong. That in his absence, they are insulting Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. They are calling her names. Insulting our women. Those men are insulting our women. And you, BIAFRANs, you think it's okay for them to be insulting our women the way they are doing it over there? You think it's okay? You think it's good? So please, Marian, be careful. Do not get involved. I'll be careful with you because you're a foreigner. You know, so being a stakeholder, you are not really a stakeholder when it comes to the affairs of Biafra. Because of that, I'll be calm and I'll see you as something that, you know, I don't really care much about. But the one they call Bianca, or no, and the one they called Uchechi, those ones are the ones I will give the water more. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. The one they called Dabre, the lawyer they called Dabre, the idiot that was hiding his face, that we had to dig deep to find a picture of him. You'll be next. God bless you, Biafrans, and I'll catch you all soon. Yeah, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. We're going back to the land. We're going back to the motherland. Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We're going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We're going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We're going back to the land.